From appearing in Simpsons musicals,
Ellen, Megatron, Eric Cartman, Donkey Kong,
and somehow the Powerpuff Girls.
Blossom, are you okay? You tripped me. Seriously.
Turning Blossom into a Cartman is what I'd call a crime against humanity. But seriously, South Park has become such a legendary show that almost everyone else has tried to feature them in their cartoons. So today, I'll be going through all the animated shows where a visual reference of South Park is clearly featured, starting with The Simpsons. In The Bart of War, the episode literally starts with Bart and Milhouse checking out an episode of South Park.
Next on Comedy Central, an all-new South Park.
I hear those kids' voices are done by grown-ups. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I can't believe we paid to see a band with Steve Guttenberg, Farty the Crippled Robot, and Callista Flockhart.
Look who's in my fart. OJ.
I'm gonna kill you all. Now I'm gonna find the real killer.
Yeah, that looks like an episode of South Park, alright, just drawn way worse somehow. There isn't really much of a point to this cameo, except that Marge tells the boys they shouldn't watch something that isn't life-affirming. Roasted, I guess? Then there's the episode Oh Brother, Where Bart Thou, where Bart decides he wants a baby brother. However, convincing his father proves to be a pointless exercise.
I want a baby brother. Lisa got a sister. Why can't you have another boy?
I love you kids, but I'm only going to the hospital one more time in my life and I ain't coming out. Girls are easy. Girls make birthday cards with glitter on them. Girls love daddy. Girls can marry a hockey player and get me seats to hockey games.
Yes, all the important things in life. The South Park reference soon follows as Bart, Milhouse, Nelson, and Ralph play out the classic South Park bus stop scene while discussing Bart's dilemma.
My dad is such a jerk. I want a baby brother, and he said no.
The way my mom nearly tricked Charles Barkley. Maybe you could trick your parents into making a baby.
Trick 'em. I like it. But how? A romantic dinner? That's a great idea.
Weird, I could have sworn Kenny Ralph said I love glue.
Oh my god, I killed Kenny.
Ralph.
No, I killed Kenny yesterday.
And I was just about to say Bart should just adopt a little Kenny Ralph as his baby brother, but I guess that's not gonna happen. On to Gorgeous Grandpa, where we learn that Grandpa used to be a semi-famous wrestler who wore wigs and feather boas and went by the fabulous name of Glamorous Godfrey. Oh, and it turns out Mr. Burns, of all people, is his biggest fan.
Please, Abe, let me buy you dinner in exchange for tales of the golden age of professional grappling.
But Grandpa, I want to hear about old-time wrestling too.
I've been trying to forget those days for 50 years.
Well, it looks like you've made a new fan. It'd be a shame to let him down.
The emotional blackmail works, and the three of them go on a fancy dinner where Burns tries to convince Grandpa to come out of retirement. But Grandpa was hated for being pretty dang good at wrestling, and he doesn't want to go back to being the bad guy again. Which is a concept so difficult for Burns to fathom that it makes him burst out into song and sing about famous pop culture villains.
Stalin, Megatron, Eric Cartman, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, of course Eric Cartman would be included in a list of villains Burns deems admirable. He is, after all, one of the most evil cartoon villains of all time. The following South Park cameo happens in the couch gag in The Cad in the Hat, when Homer notices something's off in their living room.
Where's our sailboat?
You really tied the room together.
Maybe another animated show stole it.
That painting was great. Derivative amateur seascape.
Homer seems to immediately suspect who the thieving show is as he rushes out of the Simpsons set and straight into another.
Possible.
Is this a TV show or did I walk into a third grade shoebox diorama? Did you steal my painting? Out of the mouths of babes.
Yep, there's the South Park Core 4, or at least a ripoff of them. Just look at their cute tiny little orange noses. Homer eventually finds the painting and we see the Core 4 one more time. Oh my days, he killed all of them. Homer, you frick! Then there's the opening theme of The Squirt and the Whale, where we see Bart's blackboard scribble speaking directly to the South Park fam. That message was in reference to threats that Trey Parker and Matt Stone received after featuring the Prophet Muhammad in the episode 201.
Come on, the door's open. Dr. Mephisto, we need your help. Doctor, this is we want you to clone him so we can give his copies to Ginger's and Barbara Streisand.
As you can see, both the figure and name of the Prophet ended up being heavily censored following the threats the show creators received. Even the Simpsons ended up changing their Blackboard shout-out because the same episode's intro now looks like this. If you don't know, that says I don't know French, which honestly could still be a reference to the South Park episode since all those bleeps made it sound like absolute gibberish. The final Easter egg happens in the last segment of Treehouse of Horror 33, titled Simpsons World. It's a parody of Westworld, only it's all Simpsons lore, and the Simpsons family are those freakishly lifelike robots who've become self-aware.
Okay, act like robots.
Beer.
Don't have a cow, man. Catchphrases, everyone. Dinner's ready.
The four sentient Simpsons manage to escape the amusement park in the end, only to find themselves in another one.
Oh, you got big eyes. Turn off the headlights. Forget I said anything. Take your time. Sweaty cheese.
Yep, that's Bob's Burgers, only it's also set in the robot-filled amusement park, and there are other amusement parks as well. There's South Park Park in the shape of Stan's little hat. Listen, I don't know about you, but I personally would love to see the carnage a sentient Cartman would unleash in a place like that. Right, now let's look at the time Rick and Morty featured South Park. Sort of. The visual gag involves the famous South Park 4 clothing, which a lot of shows use because it's so iconic and easily recognizable, only in the Vat of Acid episode, it's been slightly changed in color for some reason. The Easter egg pops up after Morty asks Rick to invent a savior game device that can be used in real life. Naturally, Morty uses this new gadget very responsibly.
Who wants to do some math?
I'll do it.
A bold move, Morty Smith.
Oh, I've got something to deliver.
What the hell? Oh, goddammit, this is traumatizing. I'm allergic to sheepskin. Bold move, Morty Smith, but can you deliver?
Holy shit.
A device like that should never exist. Morty obviously goes ahead and uses it on practically everything until he meets a special lady. The two hit it off and are very much in love, and we're treated to an up-style montage of their blossoming and at times challenging relationship. Morty at least realizes he needs to do something to save the relationship, so he surprises the new girlfriend with tickets to some location that is not an alien-infested interdimensional hellhole, and off they go to enjoy some away time in Oh No. And they went from traveling lovers to plane crash survivors real quick. And it is here in the snowy mountain at the crash site that we get the cheeky South Park reference. Okay, so rotisserie choux for dinner and cannibalism aside, these four survivors are obviously a nod to the South Park 4, only with a few adjustments. One guy's wearing Stan's hat, the unknown woman's wearing a Ushanka just like Kyle, only it's not green, but her jacket is. Morty's just like Kenny, so I guess that makes his girlfriend Cartman. Which could very well be the joke here because she's like the opposite of Cartman, but Morty on the other hand ends up resembling Kenny in more ways than one in this episode.
You weren't saving your place and going back. Respect time travel. Do-over as it was isolating a moment in time, splitting your probable selves and shunting you into a near-duplicate, equally probable reality, transporting you into it at the moment of parallel determination. Pretty nifty. Time crystals are a bitch and a half. The only real hitch is that there was already a you in each probable dimension, so we had to solve for that.
What this basically means, as Rick then explains, is that Morty prestiged himself. Every time he hit that supposed do-over button, he killed a version of himself to prevent thousands of Morty duplicates from running around. So, you know, oh my god, they killed Morty! Again, and again. Okay, let's look at the time South Park showed up in Family Guy. The first visual reference can be found in an Emmy-winning episode, the one where Peter decides that the show isn't doing enough to bag the coveted TV award.
Kids, it's me, tu madre, Lois Gris.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Lois. My wife, Lois. I get my wife.
Yeah, so his idea of how to win an Emmy is to recast his wife and make some sexist jokes. Oh, and also this, apparently.
I am a woman and always have been.
Ay, Dios mío!
I've made plans to undergo surgery so my wang don't get in the way of the woman what I am. Lois, I'll still be a parent to our children, but now I'll be a trans parent.
Excuse me while I fix my eyes from rolling all the way to the back of my skull. The ploy obviously doesn't work, so Peter tries to go for best drama, best documentary, and even reality TV. He eventually ends up at The Daily Show, where Bill Maher tells him that there's a conspiracy preventing Family Guy from ever winning an Emmy. Peter decides to visit the local library and do some investigation, and we get to see this. There's South Park and the times they managed to win an Emmy. Peter deduces that there's a secret society making sure that the same shows win year after year, because I guess that's just the kind of logic you can expect from Peter Griffin. The next South Park cameo is way funnier and can be found in the intro of V is for Mystery, where we see Stewie and Brian roleplay as Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Ah yes, the classic Sherlock Holmes in the case of the ever-dying 4th grader. Right on over to American Dad we go, where two characters randomly find themselves in the South Park universe in a blink and you'll miss it moment. For this reference, I'm showing you the episode The Longest Distance Relationship, where it's been a year since Jeff was abducted by a UFO after learning that Roger is an alien. Super harsh, my dude, but it finally looks like Jeff has found a way to get back home and back to Haley.
Found a way home?
Our ship found a wormhole that will take us straight to Earth.
We can finally get back to living our lives together?
Yeah, babe, I'll be home soon.
So they just have to travel through a wormhole and hope their insides don't become their outsides? Aces, let's watch.
Wow, wormhole! Like staring into the face of God. It's so beautiful. It's unbelievable.
It's pretty unbelievable, all right. And there, as you can see, is Jeff and Sinbad as they would look in the world of South Park. It's definitely better than being an alien with 6 eyes or whatever those 2 pink thingies are supposed to be. Moving on to the show about a blue cat who lives in an amazing world that can also be kind of terrifying sometimes, it's Gumball. In the episode The Potato, Darwin questions his eating habits thanks to his friend Idaho, who is a tiny potato and has to witness things like this on a semi-regular basis.
Fluffy.
Yes, Darwin is Idaho's Hannibal Lecter. Also, a fish eating potatoes? That ain't right. Anyway, Gumball explains to Darwin how his actions affect their could-be tater-tot friend, and Darwin decides to swear off eating any potatoes in any form forever, which, you know, is so much easier said than done.
Okay, dude, is there anywhere else we've missed? We've cleared out your locker and your desk.
Is there anywhere else? I don't recall. I think we've got them.
Thanks for leading me to your secret supply. Stay strong, bro.
This is a very emotional time for me. But it's fine. Everything is great. I keep getting these horrible, devastating mood swings.
Yep, that is the cold turkey effect right there. Gumball tries to help his pal get over his cravings, but nothing works, and Darwin eventually caves.
That's it. No! I'm sorry, but this is who I am. Huh, do I look okay? I don't feel any different.
Potato.
Potato?
Potato, potato.
Yes, all his friends have turned into potato heads who totally look like every Canadian character in South Park, only creepier.
Hello, Darwin, nice to see you. We have things we need to tell you. Really can't forgive you when you wish you hadn't eaten all our dishes. Masturbate.
They might be creepier, but they are equally hilarious. Now let's look at the time South Park dropped in the Cleveland show. You'll get the reference in a minute. In the episode Harder, Better, Faster, Browner, Cleveland takes in famous rapper Kenny West and his daughter after learning that they had fallen on hard times. But instead of helping Kenny get back on his feet, he basically turns him to Cleveland 2.0.
Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Kenny.
Who is that?
A kid off the streets who I've been teaching everything I know. Oh, Kenny, you're terrible.
No, you're terrible. We're both terrible.
Yes, you are. Kenny is so caught up in changing his entire persona that he gets rid of all of his DJ equipment to apparently grow a mustache instead. Cleveland eventually realizes that he's enabled Kenny to give up his rapper dream and he intends to right his wrongs.
Feel like writing a hit song?
I appreciate it, Cleveland, but I don't know if I can do it. Lil Wayne's dropped 30 mixtapes since then. I've been out the game for 6 days.
You can do it, Kenny, because I'm gonna help you.
And that is how we got treated to this glorious rap duet.
Not long ago, I was lower than low. Little girl in a Cadillac Broham. My quest success, ain't he depressed? Not dressed to impress. Then John Mayer waiting on his age test. He how to live large, took me out of...
Oh, it gets better.
But cleave in yourself.
Grow a mustache. Slap your wife's ass. Never smoke grass.
But cleave in yourself.
To clarify, I didn't mean the song gets better. I mean the splash they're about to make. Because the song gets broadcast live on TV, and soon practically everyone has downloaded it.
Looking extra fly, you die, you sky, you gon' touch. Come up in the spot, looking extra fly, you gon' touch the sky high, I'm sky.
Yeah, they made a hit, but let's look a little closer at that chart, shall we? See number 6 on there? That's Blame Canada from the South Park movie, and opposite Kenny's chart topper is What Would Brian Boitano Do, which is also from the South Park movie.
Right now, he'd make a plan and he'd follow through. Skating for the gold, we did 2 sock cows in the Alps, fighting grizzly bears, to breath and save the maiden fair. So what would
So yeah, Kenny's song apparently did better than the South Park songs. Man, is it just me, or is it really starting to look like there's no show as envious of South Park as a Seth MacFarlane show? Anyway, not my beef, so let's just move on to the Powerpuff Girls, where one of them once turned into Cartman for no good reason. In the episode Imaginary Fiend, there's a new boy in class. His name is Mike, and he's kinda weird.
Hi, Mike. I'm Bubbles. It's very nice to meet you.
Man, that is one sad-looking guy. What gives, brother?
Oh, hi there. How did you know my name? You want to be my friend? What's your name?
He's talking to himself. I told you that kid's weird.
There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself.
So Mike is talking to someone named Patches who doesn't seem to be there. Only there is definitely something there, and it's causing absolute havoc in the classroom.
Think you'll like it very much. Little Red Riding Hood. Oh! Mike!
Mike didn't do it.
Yeah, that was definitely not little Mike, because he's sitting away in the back in the timeout corner for something he didn't do.
Isn't it, Mike? Uh-huh.
You have to do something.
Don't worry, Miss Keene. We'll get him.
He's disrupting the classroom.
So it looks like the girls have a mischievous poltergeist on their hands, and it's up to them to stop it. Only...
Crap. My turn.
Blossom, are you okay?
Seriously.
Look. I can't see anything.
Yes, for some reason, Blossom suddenly turned into Cartman when she hit that bundle of clothes. Luckily, it's only for a moment as Blossom is back to her old self when we see her again. Just imagine a Powerpuff Girl going around yelling at everyone in that sweet little voice, "Respect my authority," or "Respect my authority." I'm not gonna do that. Erase that from your minds right now. Anywho, our next entry features a beloved South Park character in an episode of Robot Chicken, and things get wild real fast. In Boogie Bardstown and No Need I Have Coupons, someone from South Park isn't really hiding. They have a full-blown cameo in the section Master Chef Celebrity Showdown.
For our final challenge, each of you will be creating dishes made with an ingredient you fear most. Bob Belcher, the man who forces his children to work for free and still can't turn a profit, gets a pigeon.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
That's the most normal ingredient of the lot, because that French chef from Ratatouille gets a rat, SpongeBob gets water, and
finally, the chef whose cuisine is a little two-dimensional, the souls of dead aliens.
STDs are actually my biggest fear.
Of course it is, Chef, you dog, you. Claymation Gordon Ramsay yells at them to start cooking, and things just go downhill from there.
I'm making open-faced Krabby Patties with a cherry tomato remoulade. Water! Get on me! I'll drown! Fire! It's impossible to
I'm making feta stuffed pigeon burgers. I can open my eyes.
And then Bob has a heart attack and dies. Golly goober, this is going poorly.
Ways.
I'm making a linguine rat Fredo. God darn!
Oh, that's my Uncle Joey.
I'm making a beaten lava cake. Just need to pour it into the chocolate volcano and...
Ew, that can't be good.
Titans, you absolute donkey! Either make me risotto or get the...
Yes, chef.
Yes, now the three aliens are cooking up a dish and they actually managed to impress the ever-yelling Ramsay.
The winner is Scientology!
In case you didn't know, the conclusion here is a shout out to the actor who voiced Chef because he was a Scientologist. How delightful. And we're back to spotting South Park clothing again as we now turn to an episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic that might be a little darker than most people realize. So in the episode Tanks for the Memories, Rainbow Dash doesn't want the winter season to begin because it means that her best friend and beloved tortoise Tank will need to go into hibernation and leave her without her bestie.
I was just saying how cute. If you think Hybert, that napping thing, is cute, why don't you go do somewhere far away from here?
Awkward moment aside, here we can clearly see Cartman's beanie, Stan's beanie, and Kyle's hat on the head of that squirrel, but it's pretty weird, right? Like, why are these beanies among the things they're gathering to keep the hibernating creatures warm throughout winter? Well, I'll tell you why, because I'm going with the narrative that the ponies killed Cartman, Kyle, and Stan and fed them to the woodland critters who are all getting ready to sleep for a couple of months. I don't care what anyone says. This is canon now, and all these ponies should never be trusted. Alrighty, guys, this is a channel first, to my knowledge. Maybe it's time for some anime. So let's check out which South Park character is featured in Fooly Cooly right before he meets his demise. In the episode of Morty de Carabas, Naota's classmate Eddie Ninamori is going through some stuff at home. What with her mayor dad having an affair and the whole world talking about it.
Is there like a major scene at your house right now?
I don't care.
It's just some tabloid thing anyway, right? So don't worry about it.
Ninamori wants to get on a train and get far away from it all, but Naota's housekeeper Haruka, who's also an alien by the way, shows up to spoil her plans and expose what Naota's hiding under his hat. Yep, those are cat ears because Naota can grow things out of his head depending on his emotional state. And right now he has cat on the brain because Ninamori wants him to play the cat opposite her in the school play, Puss in Boots. So much so that she cheated to get them both the lead roles.
Why do I have to be the one to play the cat?
'Cause I rigged the votes. You didn't figure it out, huh? See, no one would suspect. So I play the lead and you play the cat. They wouldn't think the class president would do a thing like that.
You mean you cheated?
She's a true politician, that one. Not only did she rig the vote, but she then tries to blackmail Naota by threatening to expose his weird little cat ears if he refuses to be in the play, which eventually happens anyway.
Embarrassing!
With a head like that, you think that's embarrassing? You're cute.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now, and Naota tells everyone that Ninamori cheated to get the lead role, and instead of running away in embarrassment, this happens to her. Finally, a tween in their true form. The scene turns into a full-on fight that eventually moves to the school rooftop, and when the robot Kanti falls to the ground, look what goes flying when it hits Miss Junko's car.
Yusho's car!
She's still paying off the loan.
Yep, that is an impaled and very dead Kenny McCormick flying through the air, which is funny since no other character seems to die during the carnage. Another episode of this wacky show sees the world of these characters momentarily transfer into that of South Park. In brutal battle, Naota and Haruko are having a fight with Kanti and the robot and Kamo, Naota's father, because the dad is apparently in love with the nanny.
I can't forgive you behind your father's back. You were making out and doing perverted things.
That's not true. You don't know it.
We will have a duel of honor. We must do battle for Haruko-san.
I'm for it.
Haruko-san, here's my weapon. It's all for you.
Okay then, I'm not even gonna ask. So the duel kicks off, but during their battle, someone else arrives on the scene.
Human shield! Those things hurt! Cut it out!
Nana.
Target sighted. We are in range.
That right there is Lieutenant Kitsurabami, who is calling her boss Commander Amado because they're looking for Haruko, but watch what happens during the call.
So let's do this fast, okay? But I want it to look cool, charming, in a manly, grown-up kind of way, get it? Something that a woman I haven't seen in a while, really virile, but also nurturing and supportive. Oh, don't I get one of those candies? I want to get super sweet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah!
Again, there seems to be no point in this animation crossover other than someone presumably asking, why the heck not? Turning now to a show called Drawn Together, an adult animation that feels like a sitcom but also parodies the world of reality TV. So, in the episode A Tale of Two Cows, a character named Woldor Sockbat visits the live-action forest and decides to take something back home with him.
You can't keep a live-action cow in the house.
He followed me home, and now he's my best friend.
Look at the mess he made.
Well, that's going to take forever to clean up. Sockbat's housemates force him to return the cow from whence it came from, but back at the live-action forest, the cow gets into a fight with the squirrel, and in doing so, picks up something terrible.
Foaming mouth, live-action cow has rabbis!
It's called rabies, guys. And yes, live-action cow definitely has a bad case of it. Rabies cow soon goes on a killing spree, and the gang is on its trail to try and stop it. But on their way, they pass some interesting places. And by places, I mean universes that have been now destroyed by live-action rabies cow.
That's what they get for constantly having a gay old time.
We have to stop this crazy thing!
Where are we?
Chad is a South Park.
Now this place is funny.
The pig knows what he's talking about. Back to some more anime we go, with yet another character dressed up as Cartman in a little show called Yuri on Ice. In the series finale, gotta supercharge it. It's the finals of the big Grand Prix free skate competition that the whole show revolved around.
Yeah. In first is Russia's Yuri Plisetsky with the highest ever short program score. And shockingly enters the free skate in sixth, Jean-Jacques Leroy of Canada. Will he make a comeback? The last chapter of the Grand Prix final is about to begin.
And number 6, Jean-Jacques, or JJ for short, is first up to show everyone what he's got, but he's not off to a great start.
JJ, the music started!
I can't believe I just did that. I've been skating for 16 years.
Did you see me?
That is one of the best matched Cartman outfits on this list, down to the brown pants and everything. Guess that probably means he was a real menace as a kid. Hey, before you go, maybe check out this video if you want to see some more crazy cameos and crossovers or just shenanigans of all kinds. It's really cool. And I also want to thank you very much for watching. It means so much to me. See you on the next one.